We've been joined in the studio, I'm delighted to say, by Liverpool and Scotland great Graeme Souness, alongside 17-year-old Isla Grist. Now, you may remember a couple of years ago, they both came in to talk to us about Graeme getting involved in a challenge to swim the English Channel. This was all to raise awareness of Isla's rare condition known as butterfly skin, raising money as well for that too. And they're back because, well, Graeme is going again, and this time doubling up on the first challenge. Graeme will be part of a relay team of 6 swimmers aiming to swim across the Channel to France and back again. Graeme, how are you?
I'm good, and I try not to talk about this too much because the thought of it is quite frightening. I mean, I'm ready for it because I've put the hard yards in, but it's just, you know, it's a proper challenge that will not be easy. And,
well, you've got to face your fears because we are going to be talking about it. But Isla, just want to find out from you, how are you doing at the moment?
Good, thank you. Yeah, lovely to be here.
Yeah, well, it's lovely to have you here again. Just remind people about butterfly skin, this particular condition you've been living with since birth.
So butterfly skin, is called EB, is known that the skin isn't quite as strong as it should be, so it slips and slides. And it can cause sore bits, blisters, and that can be very, very painful and extremely upsetting for some people. But the charity DEBRA that we're doing the swim for is incredible. And if you want to read a bit more about DEBRA, you can go onto their website. DEBRA is spelled DEBRA, if anybody wants to have a look. But the whole process of EB is just, it's one thing after another.
Just give us an idea of what a typical day might be like for you.
So even getting up and getting dressed can take like half an hour, 40 minutes. Somewhere between that, and then every time I just do something, I need to think about it and plan it pretty much before I do it. And even having something as simple as a bath can take up to 5 hours for me. Because I have to take the dressings off, pop the blisters, then get in the bath, then do it all in reverse again. And that is just quite, it's very, very painful, and I take some very strong drugs to combat that pain, but it's one of the hardest things that I have ever gone through, and I have to do that every couple of days.
Isla, I live in a house full of teenagers, so I have an idea of what kind of standard teenage life is like. Your life, the opportunities for you are so restricted.
Yeah. In
terms of sort of living and experiencing what 17-year-olds should be able to live and experience. How do you sort of cope with that?
So, yes, it does look a bit different for me, but I have my carers are kind of my friends, which sounds a bit sad, but it just means that I do have some friends, and also I've got a big sister who, as you know, if you've got a couple of kids, we fight, but we love each other anyway.
Well, that sounds reassuringly normal, actually, and it's wonderful that you do have that support around you. Graeme, I know that you've been involved with Isla's story for years now.
Yeah, she's not telling the truth. She's not painting the correct picture. What Isla's going through, another, kids going through this, suffering through this condition, epidermolysis bullosa, it is horrendous. I'm not going to exaggerate. It's early morning. I'm sorry if someone's having a breakfast, but if you saw Isla without her clothes on, and this is not an exaggeration. It's like someone's taken a blowtorch to her. It's incredibly painful. She talks. It's like it's just red raw, and it weeps and it bleeds, and it's constantly got open wounds all over her body. And the stoicism that she shows and the courage. I come from a world where people talk about big, strong characters. No, We're just football players. This is the real deal. This is as bad as it gets. And when I saw this for the first time nearly 6 years ago, it was like someone punched me on the nose. And I thought, I've got to get involved in this. Now,
what progress?
Can I just, the drugs, when she has her dressing changed, it 3 or 4 times a week?
3 times a week.
You know, she takes drugs like fentanyl,
just to deal with the pain.
Ketamine, you know, diamorphine, just to get. Can you imagine, as these dressings are coming off, so is a lot of her skin. It's excruciating, and it's a Groundhog Day, and that's what she has to look forward to from a Monday to the following Monday.
What progress has been made in terms of finding some kind of treatment for this?
Well, what we're attempting to do is repurpose drugs. To discover a drug and take it through the process could be over a decade and tens of millions of pounds. So what we're trying to do with this new challenge, obviously the awareness is absolutely fantastic. You know, people now, I can tell you a couple of stories about, you know, we went to a luncheon 18 months ago in London where two mums, both from Wales but didn't know each other, told the same story where they said, "Oh, thank you very much for the awareness, everything you're doing." And what she said was really, really, you know, made me emotional, but I get emotional whenever I talk about this because I know how bad this is. These kids were going to school and they were being shunned. And then because of our awareness, got Isla talking about it and being on the telly, these kids were then welcomed back into their group and, you know, they look forward to going to school again. You know, it damages every part of their life. It impacts on every part. So what we're trying to do, there's drugs that are already on the market. So what we're trying to do is repurpose these drugs. Now we're looking to there's 20 of these drugs, and we're looking to raise £10 million.
You've got to be careful. You've had a shoulder injury. You've had heart issues. I know you're training really hard, slightly dreading it, but I can see the passion and why you want to do this, Graeme. So listen, best of luck. And people can find out more. Where can they go to, just briefly?
The DEBRA website, as I said before.
Yeah.
DEBRA is spelled DEBRA.
Perfect. That's brilliant. Isla and Graeme, good luck. We'll follow your progress with great interest, and thank you so much for being here too.
Bye.